As if it wasn't obvious enough from the timer that I'm carrying, I am a scientist. I feel like I'm at a Scientists Anonymous group. But that's not the focus of my talk, because it seems the theme of this evening is sex education. So let's explore that. Because I grew up in the days before the internet. Yes, there were such things. I mean, I think Kel can testify to that. But anyway, the point was that our information had to come from other sources. And there were books, but also your parents. Yes, the dreaded sex talk. And thankfully, there was a terrible TV show that we were forced to watch at school to teach us about sex, but only straight sex, because, you know, gay sex doesn't exist. Everyone knows that. And so my mother, bless her, who is very much still alive, was entrusted clearly with explaining to me that one of the ministers at our church was clearly gay. He was like a one-man pride march. But, you know, of course, as a kid, we didn't understand that. And my mother, I don't know if she understood it either, because when I asked, you know, sort of, hey, that minister, the one who acts funny and sounds a bit funny too, what's him all about? And my mother, she felt like she was probably providing all the information we needed. She said, well, men, they try to put their boy parts in the other one's bottom. But she left out a few details. First, she didn't indicate that they were in a state of arousal, and she also didn't indicate that they succeeded, and she didn't indicate that they enjoyed it. So as a kid, I was even more confused. I had visions of basically someone crashing a hot dog into two balloons. I was like, I've done some weird stuff when I was bored, but I've never done that. But anyway, my mother, yes, she is old-fashioned. Her grasp of technology is more than a little tenuous. She did get a mobile phone, but she didn't know how to put the numbers into it, so her idea of adding a number to her cell phone, I kid you not, was attaching a white label to the back of her phone and writing the phone number on it. That was her adding a number to her phone. True story. And my mother, she also, lots of things puzzled her. Like, she would see the dishwasher, and you know when the dishwasher finishes, the little door is popped open and released your capsules, blah, 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 blah. Well, my mother thought to herself, so the door is open at the end. So why bother closing the door? So she would simply just put a load of dishwasher goo into the thing, leave the door open, and just slam the door, so it just like catapult the goo all over the dishes. I don't know if that improved or didn't improve the quality of our dishwashing. And similarly, she was raised in the days when washing machines were brand new technology. And so she was used to washing machines that were destroying the environment one wash at a time, and you'd see like a huge sort of surf breaking inside the washing machine. And when she got a machine that was a little bit efficient, she thought there wasn't enough water in it. She thought it was a defective washing machine. And so she, at first, would grab a jug of water and would partway through the wash, you'd discreetly open the powder drawer, and when no one was looking, just sort of sploosh in a couple of extra liters, because she felt it needed more water. But this, my mother being very creative, she thought this is a lot like hard work. Filling the jug every time. And so what did she do? She got a little length of garden hose and ran it from the sink in the utility room into the powder drawer, so she could just turn it on when she felt the washing machine needed a little bit of extra water. Which, the washing machine didn't need extra water. It knew what it was doing. It's not like a washing machine is going like, oh, I hope my owner sklooshes a bit of extra water in. And so it would send the washing machine absolutely batty, and it was never meant to hold that much water. So the water would slosh over somehow, sunk down, and destroyed the floor underneath her precious washing machine. And you would think after destroying one floor and having a guy come in and replace the rotten floorboards and pick her washing machine out of the hole it had dug for itself, you would think that would be it, that would draw a line under it. But no. As soon as the nice new floor was in and the washing machine was resituated, what did she do? She was back destroying the floor and did it again. But that's my mother. Technology and her don't have a good relationship. Anyway. But also, since it's open season on trashing Trump, let's talk about Trump, shall we? First, a joke that I created myself. What is the difference between Donald Trump and a Dorito? Simple. One of them is bright orange and smells of cheese. The other one is a delicious snack. Yeah, I know. Thank you. But also, as a scientist, I mean, one of the things that makes me a good scientist, trying not to be big-headed about it, is that, you know, my mind is always spinning, always trying to solve puzzles, and my mind runs off down rabbit holes willy-nilly without any rhyme or reason to it. And yes, Trump is a racist. Wow, newsflash, big new information. But, you know, I thought to myself, you know, there's Elon Musk may or may not have made a hand gesture that reminds of a certain guy with a little mustache. And so there's a lot of racism to go around. There's plenty inside the White House. And, oh, talking about race, my kids are teenagers, and they grew up and were too young to remember George W., but they grew up with a black president. And so they've experienced the whole rainbow of colors of people. First they had a black president, then they had an orange president, then they had a white president, and now they have an orange president again. By that logic, they should have a black president again to keep things all symmetrical. Anyway, but also, all this talk of racism set me thinking. And yes, there's racist imagery, there's racist hate speech, there's all kinds of things like that in the media, but nobody ever talks about racist food. Yes, this one definitely was out in the twilight zone of my imagination. And so I thought to myself, what kind of racist food could you have? And the first thing that popped into my mind for some reason was Ku Klux flan. Yes, made with entirely white ingredients, placed in an oven, baked till not golden brown, because you don't like that color, and clearly never served with chocolate ice cream, and is no doubt Donald Trump's favorite dessert. I mean, for some reason, Ku Klux flan just made so much sense to me. I mean, yes, ChatGPT did help me actually develop that one, because I came to it with the idea for racist desserts, and it's like, excuse me, are you trying to cause genuine offense? Like, no, I'm trying to satirize racism. Okay then, I'm on board. And just suggested all these racist desserts. I mean, segregation swirl and Jim Crow sans. I still think my idea of Ku Klux flan is the best. Anyway, where was I? Yes, scientists. So, scientists, as well as solving puzzles and going up against Mother Nature near constantly, and my timer's battery has died. So Tara, keep me right on the time. Scientists are basically like teenagers trying to get away with stuff, except the parents who are trying to hoodwink is usually Mother Nature. But sometimes, you know, there's lab politics and stuff. Bosses are all serious and they want you to do what they're saying. And my old mentor, when he was a young student, he invented a new technique, very smart man, but he was only a 20-something, he was just damn lucky. But in his first new job, his boss was like, no, this is the way I do things and ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise. So he says to my former boss, hey, now I don't want you using that material that you invented in my lab. No, the last thing I want to see is you using that material. And oh my goodness, Teenagers 101, this guy clearly didn't have kids because he created a big fat loophole. All he said is, I don't want you to use it. And so what did he do? He cooked up a huge batch of his special brew material and gave it to everyone in the lab who wasn't him. And didn't tell the boss about this, obviously, because the boss would have spotted this. And then, sure enough, 2 weeks later, the boss's door is broken down by a stampede of everyone else in the group. Oh my goodness, I've discovered everything! This new homebrew stuff is fantastico! And so the boss had to fold like Superman on laundry day, because, you know, exactly, I mean, I have 2 teenagers myself, and they're always trying to loophole. I mean, my son has a girlfriend, good for him, and we told him, you have to be home for dinner, but we left a loophole. We didn't say when his day with his girlfriend has to begin. So the next day, what do we, at 7 o'clock in the morning, he's shooting out the door to go catch the bus to spend every possible waking hour with her. Because yes, we should have set the parameters, but that's the joy of parenting. And Tara, how am I for time? I have absolutely no idea.
You have a minute.
A minute? Oh golly. It's a minute. What can you do with a minute? Okay. Best way to deal with nuisance phone calls, quick potted version, is people always expect foul language when you get a sales call, or they expect no, or they expect take us off your list. What they never expect is a romantic serenade. So, when I used to get sales calls from like accident claim companies, as soon as they got as far as, hi there, it's claims for you, we want to help you, I'd go, the minute you walked in the joint, I could tell you were a man of distinction, real big spender, good looking, so refined. They didn't let me get to the chorus, how rude, they hung up. Anyway, that has been me, thank you so much.
Clap come out. Woo! Okay, give that applause going to Judy Wolke.